Hey guys, it's Emma. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I am doing my monthly wrap up and I'm also doing my TBR video all in one because I only read 2 books in September because I literally have not had the time to read, and when I do have the time, I'm just too tired and I want to sleep, or I have homework I need to do, or I'd rather watch YouTube. I just have not had time to read, haven't been in the mood to read, so it hasn't been a great few months, as you guys could probably tell. But I do have 2 books that I read this month that I'm going to talk about in this video, and then we're also going to go on to my TBR, which is a fun little thing I did this month. If you follow my Instagram, you probably know what it is. If you don't follow my Instagram, keep watching the video and you will see what I did for this month's TBR. But we're going to start with the books that I read in September. First book I read in September was After I Do by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I'm gonna be looking off to the side because I have my computer here with like all my thoughts, because I set up a Notion for myself and I'm gonna talk about this more in my reset video for October, so stay tuned for that. Basically, I set up like a monthly reading log and I put all the books I read and the rating and then just my thoughts on the book. So I'm gonna be looking off to the side a little bit just so I could, remember the book. I gave this book 4.5 stars. I literally was obsessed with this book when I read it. It took me a while to read, but that didn't take away from the fact how good this book was. Basically, what this book is about is a couple that they met in college. They were obsessed with each other. It was like puppy love, and then they get married, and slowly but surely they're getting like sick of each other. Like, they can't stand being around each other, and they come to the conclusion that they cannot be with each other anymore and they can't just drag it along. So they come up with a deal to separate for a year and come back together and see if they could be together again. And that's basically what this whole book is about. You're following the female main character. You get some of what Ryan is thinking in the book, which is the boy main character. You get some of his thoughts, but you're mostly following Lauren, which is the female main character, and you're getting her thoughts on everything. But this book isn't only about like their relationship and like their love. You see Lauren's dynamic with her family, with her parents, with her siblings, within herself, with her friends, literally like even with her dog. There's so much like to learn in this book, and I feel like the whole point of this book is about love, and it's about parental love, sibling love, friendship, relationship, self-love. And that's why I love this book so much, because I literally felt like a whole new person reading this book. While I was reading this book, I was literally just thinking about my AP English teacher and how much he would love to analyze this book, because there's so much to unpack from this book, but in a good way. Like, there's so much going on, but I loved it, if that makes any sense. I would recommend this book to literally every single person. I loved it, and yeah, I feel like, I don't know why I didn't give it 5 stars. I guess I just didn't get that 5-star feeling, but it was still amazing. 4.5 stars, really good. And then the next book I read, which is the final book I read in September, was Practice Makes Perfect by Sarah Adams. I gave this book 4.25 stars. I gave it the same rating as When in Rome. Like, I can say that I like this one better, but then I also think about When in Rome and I'm like, that was a good book too. There are some things I liked in this book, some things I liked in When in Rome, some things I didn't like in this book, some things I didn't like in When in Rome. But not to compare them. This book is about Lily, I'm pretty sure. Lily. What am I saying? This book is about Annie, and I always forget the characters' names. Will. Annie and Will. Annie is Noah's little sister from the first book, and Will is Amelia's bodyguard from the first book. Basically, Annie is not that experienced in dating. Amelia is trying to give her advice, and she's like, I have a amazing plan for you. And she sends Will to help her get into the dating world and help her get used to being on dates and flirting with people. So basically, they're making this deal, and he's helping her get used to flirting and going on dates and all of that. You get both perspectives, and that's what I love about this book, because Annie is like so obsessed with Will. She's been obsessed with him ever since she saw that this was Amelia's bodyguard. Ignore whiskey barking. Annie has been obsessed with him ever since she found out that this was Amelia's bodyguard. Everyone is obsessed with him. He's like this hot bodyguard. And then she just thinks that he doesn't even like notice her. She didn't even know he knew her name, and then you go to his perspective and he's like, she's so pretty, I don't know why she's making me feel like this, like she's different. Yeah, I just love seeing both sides, especially when that's how it is. Like when I read Behind the Net last month, oh my god, like it was literally, it's kind of the same thing. Like you get the guy's perspective and he's like equally as obsessed with the girl, but the girl has no idea and doesn't even think that the guy could feel like this for her. And that's why I literally love this book. Another thing I loved is that everyone sees this one side of him that's like very like serious, like no personality. But then when he's with her, he's a whole different person. He has this like amazing humor that no one would expect him to have. And that's the only side she sees of him, and she's like, I don't get why no one else sees this and why no one else likes him. It was just an amazing book. I think everyone should read this book. Should read both When in Rome and Practice Makes Perfect. Yeah, super cute book. 4.25. That is the wrap up. Now we're gonna go on to the TBR. So basically what I did this month for my TBR, I posted on my story books, but I covered them and I put emojis and told my followers to pick the emojis, I guess. So you guys are gonna see right now, I'm gonna share my screen so you guys could kind of get a better understanding about what I'm saying. This is basically what I posted. I put 2 books side by side, put an emoji, and then told everyone to pick a book. And yeah, I did that for 10 different books, so it's 5 different stories, if that makes sense. Starting with this one, these 2 books, it was Addicted to You. Addicted to You is the book with the broken heart and the whiskey, bourbon, or whatever that is. I don't know what that is. And then the other book was Tell Me Lies, the one with the secret and the school. These emojis were so hard to pick. I tried to pick emojis that like matched the books. I don't know, I couldn't really do it. It was hard. The book that won 29% to 71% was Addicted to You. And I'm actually really excited because I have been wanting to read this book, but I just haven't been able to get to it. This is a very, very popular series that everyone is obsessed with. Everyone that's read this series is like, this is literally my favorite series. I haven't gotten into it. So basically, this is about Lily. This girl's name is Lily. Lauren Hale, I think that's the guy's name. Lily is addicted to sex and Lauren is addicted to booze. Yeah, that's basically all I know about the book. Honestly, I just buy these books because they're popular and everyone likes them. This is the first book on the TBR for the month of October. So moving on to the next one, I put a pink heart with a prince, and then I put a like patched up heart with an eye. These 2 books were Shatter Me and Once Upon a Broken Heart. They're both fantasy books, and the book that won was Shatter Me. I honestly wanted Once Upon a Broken Heart to win, which I probably will still read that book this month, but Shatter Me won. Another book slash series I've been wanting to get to, but I haven't yet. Yeah, I honestly have no clue what this is about either. I just got it and have been wanting to read it because it's a popular series that a lot of people like. There's a character that like everyone's obsessed with. I'm pretty sure it's like, what is it, Aaron? What is the guy's name? Warner? Something Warner. Aaron Warner, I'm pretty sure it is. I don't know, to be honest, but everyone loves the series. Mostly everyone loves the series, so this is a book that was picked next for the TBR. Next 2 books, I had a puzzle and a money, like dollar sign, whatever it is, and then I had a key and a house. These 2 books were The Inheritance Games and The Housemaid. These 2 books I've had on my shelf for so long, so I'm gonna try and finally get to one of them at least. And the book that won was The Inheritance Games, which honestly, I kind of wanted this book to win anyway, because I feel like this is the perfect time to read this book and this series. And I've been wanting to read a Jennifer Lynn Barnes book because her books are so popular now, I feel like. Especially this series everyone liked, and everyone's also getting into the Natural series, which I also want to get into. I'm excited that this one was picked. This is about like, I'm pretty sure it's like a love triangle. You follow Avery, but then you also get the 2 brothers. Again, don't know what this book is about. I just know it's a popular book that a lot of people like, and that's why I have it. So this is the 3rd book on the TBR for the month of October. Next 2 books. I have A Dog and a Letter, and then I have a ginger hair with love heart on fire. These 2 books, I feel like I got good emojis for those 2, which I don't know, it was kind of hard. So I have Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez, and then I have Twisted Hate by Ana Huang, and this book won. I have been pushing this book off for so long because one, it's like so thick for literally what? Like why? And I honestly didn't love the first two books. I've just been pushing the series off, and there's other books that I've been wanting to read before these. But hopefully I can get to it very soon. It's on my TBR now for this month. This is a part of a series, the Twisted series. It's the third book. It's about Jules and Josh. And Josh is Anna's sister from the first book. Anna's brother from the first book, I'm pretty sure. And then Jules is a part of like the girlfriend group. I'm pretty sure this is enemies to lovers. They have always had like this back and forth going on ever since the first book. And I've actually been really excited for them. I'm surprised they weren't the last book. I thought they were the last book, but they aren't. So yeah, this is the fourth book on the TBR. And the last, oh no, this isn't the last two books. Damn, how many did I get? Oh, I have 6. Just kidding, I thought I only had 5. Okay, so next ones. I have a yellow flower and a patched up heart again, and then I have a green and blue heart. These were so hard to come up with. Just, let's not talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. So the two books were The Way I Used to Be and Normal People by Sally Rooney, and the book that won was The Way I Used to Be. I honestly did not want this book to get picked because this is a very heavy book, and I don't think I can handle a heavy book right now. I'd rather have cute little fantasy and romance books, but I have to get to it eventually, and now that it was picked to be on the TBR, it's gonna be higher up on my radar, so hopefully I can get to this book. This book is about a girl, Eden, that got raped, and I'm pretty sure she hasn't like told anyone, and she's like keeping it to herself. Yeah. It says it's told in 4 parts: freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior year. Reveals the deep cuts of trauma, but it also demonstrates one young woman's strength as she navigates the disappointment and unbearable pains of adolescence, of first love and first heartbreak, of friendships broken and rebuilt, all while learning to embrace the power of survival she never knew she had hidden within her heart. So this is a very learning experience book and heavy book. So that is the 5th book that's going on the TBR. Now the last 2 books for this TBR thing. I put a little like fall leaf and twins. I don't know if people got that, but like that was supposed to be twins. And then the other one is a lollipop and a red heart. So these 2 books were If He Had Been With Me and Underneath the Sycamore Tree. And the book that won 54% to 46% was Underneath the Sycamore Tree. This book is another heavy, well, both of these books are also like sad books. That's why I put them together, because I've heard that both of them are very heartbreaking books. Underneath the Sycamore Tree, it's looking like a fall book, so it's like cute, but I'm pretty sure the story isn't cute. Literally the first sentence here says, Emery Matterson's life has been broken for a while. So it's very heavy, heartbreaking book. And it says, first she lost her twin sister, the other half of her heart, to an incurable autoimmune disease. Then her father left. Now Emery has been diagnosed with the same disease that killed her sister, and her mother is falling apart. Unable to live under the same roof anymore, the only option for Emery is to move in with a father she hasn't seen in 10 years and try to start over. And then basically she meets Caden, guessing that's the love interest. And then the last sentence is, but everything happens in stages and nothing good ever lasts. So this is gonna be a heartbreaking book. I honestly kind of want to read this book now. I don't know. I'm feeling this book. This is the last book, 6th book on the TBR. So to recap the books that got picked, it's Addicted to You, Shatter Me, The Inheritance Games, Twisted Hate, The Way I Used to Be, and Underneath the Sycamore Tree. 6 great popular books on the TBR for this month. Hopefully I'm able to read more this month, and I have more time and I'm in the mood more. At the end of the day, I love reading and I miss reading, and I hate that I haven't had time. So hopefully I have more time this month to read and do what I love to do. So let's hope and pray that I get to read more this month. That is it for today's video. I really hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you give it a like, subscribe, turn on your post notifications so you know when I post my next video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.